Hi everyone, my name is Afua Osei. I'm a media entrepreneur and co-founder of She Leads Africa.
Since launching this company 2 years ago, I have spent more than 97% of my time thinking about women, researching women, trying to find women.
The beautiful thing is that I think most people who start a business, they never have the idea to start a business. It's like, I want to do something interesting, and then it kind of grows and blows, hopefully, from there. So it actually happened back in 2012 when I first came to Lagos. I saw that there were a lot of young women that were smart, that were passionate, that were ambitious, but they didn't really know how to navigate the workspace or the business space. And what they don't teach you in school is that real life is so different than academic and school life. So I wanted to create a platform, a community, an environment that would take information and share it to help people find success, regardless of where they live, who they know, and what kind of connections they have access to.
African baby, American lady. It doesn't matter where you're from, you're a strong lady.
Well, the idea was not to actually start a business. The first actual product was a pitch competition. And what we saw is that we'd go to these startup events, we'd go to these investor meetings, and there would never be any young women on stage. When you'd go to these events, the young women would be handling the registration desk, or they'd be doing sign-in. But then we're like, where are the entrepreneurs on stage? The organizers would always say, we can't find them. And that can't be true, right? That couldn't be true at the time, because I'm like, I'm here. I have friends who have great ideas. I have friends who are very passionate. I have friends who know how to do this work. So why is there a disconnect between what you're doing and the people who actually need these connections? So that's where most businesses start. You see a gap in the market, you see a problem that you're trying to solve, and you say, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. So that was really it. The thing we were trying to solve is, can we find women who are trying to build Pan-African businesses? Can we find women who are trying to climb to the top of the corporate ladder? Can we find them? Can we connect them? Can we share resources? And we hosted an event. We had hundreds of applications. We had interest from all across Africa, and we said, okay, wow, this is something that we need to do something with. We didn't know what it was going to turn into, but we said, okay, we've gotten into something, let's figure it out.
After a couple of more months, I went and I asked one of the main organizers, and I asked him, why aren't there more women on stage, or why aren't there more women at these events? And his answer was very simple. He said, we just can't find any. Now, at that point, my response was similar to what your response would be if you brought that 30% test back to your mother, right? I was like, excuse me, what? Like, what do you mean we can't find any, right? Are women interested in business hiding like a leprechaun? Are they a fable like Anansi the spider? Are they missing in action like my future husband? Right? Right?
I studied political science in school because I actually thought I was going to run for office. I wanted to be an elected official because I have a passion for the community. I want to help people. I think that if you're smart and you have resources, why not help others? And then I went to business school as well, and I realized that you can help people in a lot of different ways. And business is a really powerful way, because not only are you creating a great product that helps people, but you're also able to hire people and give people salary and hopefully give them tools and training to go and do great things. And I also thought I would be less broke if I started a business. So I said, political science, it's great. It teaches you about people. I learned a lot about writing and how to effectively communicate a point, which is what I do every single day as a business owner. But, people's ideas and interests change and they evolve over time. So I wanted to do more and see more. On average, I work every single day, all day, every day. I love my work. I'm so grateful. Every single morning, I actually wake up and I feel very blessed to be able to do this thing that I get to do every day, to be able to solve problems, to be able to create something that is helping and impacting so many women all across the continent and diaspora. So I love what I do. There are plenty of days where I'm annoyed, where I'm irritated. I think that happens with every single business owner. But I love my work, so I wake up quite early and I get straight to work. I also work pretty late, and you will find me in the office on the weekends. However, I do have my outlets. So I'm gonna get back to the gym. That was an outlet, but sometimes travel messes it up. I do travel a fair amount. Most of it is for work, but I think also moving around, leaving the country can also help spice up your life. I also do love the internet. Running a media company, spend a lot of time online. So those are some things that kind of keep me livened up, but I love my work. I can't complain. External recognition is great, and we're always so appreciative of any group or brand that sees us and sees the work that we're doing. But for us, the most important thing is the women in our community, the emails that we get, the DMs, the comments where people share what they're feeling and how the work has impacted them. So when I think about young African women, when I think about the African girl child, what I believe is that people just want to live free. They want to be able to decide for themselves what they want their lives to turn out to be. I think they want to be able to have options that aren't dictated by their gender. They want to have options that aren't dictated by where they live, whether they live in a city or they live in the village or they live in a township. They want to be free to kind of go and achieve their dreams and their aspirations. So our goal is to help people be as free as they can. And we kind of believe that through economic opportunities, through training, through resource sharing, that will help open up more opportunities for more young African women.
My second story revolves around a young woman that we work with. Her business was growing very well, it was very successful, and she needed help. She couldn't find any team members that she really wanted to work with, and she asked her husband to join her with the company. He had a corporate job, and he chose to leave his job to work with his wife. Now, some people would say, oh, he chose to work under his wife or join his wife's company, but for him, he wanted his wife to be successful, he wanted her to be happy, and he wanted them to be able to build a business that would create wealth for themselves and future generations.
So when we talk about contributions by women, the funniest thing is that many times they're undervalued and they're undercounted. When we think about through history, right, the women who were revolutionaries, who were leaders, who were change makers, they existed and we know them in our families, in our communities, but they're not in the history books. You won't read about them in the newspapers. And so part of our work as young millennial women, as people who have access to media, to Twitter, to Instagram, whatever platform you have, is to tell and share those stories so that it's never an issue and no one can ever doubt ever again. So I am so impressed and I'm so inspired by all the young women I see who are trying to do things differently and who are trying to do things better, whether it's in arts, in culture, in entertainment, in finance, in music, in money, every single field. I think young women are saying that, I want to do things differently. I appreciate the advancements that have been made so far, but there's still work to be done and I'm going to do the work. When I think about the greatest fears for young African women, a lot of the feedback is just about being stuck, right? And it's such a hopeless kind of place to be, to feel as if you have no options, to feel as if you have no choices, to feel as if nothing you do actually matters or you can make a difference. And I want more people to feel optimistic. Yes, things are very challenging. Yes, we're in societies and in communities where sometimes we feel like we don't have a voice, where other people are deciding what's going to happen. Other people are taking the resources. But what I want to happen is that more young women kind of having that agency and other people removing themselves so that young women can have the agency and can take up the space that they actually need to have so that they can go and decide for themselves. But I think feeling stuck and feeling hopeless is the most defeating space that you can be in. And that's really what we need to push against. The most challenging project that I've ever embarked on has been managing people. They don't tell you this in business school. They don't tell you this when you have a great idea, but it's not really about having a good product. It's not about having great marketing. It's really about, are you able to find the right people who believe in your vision? Are you able to train and motivate them? And are you able to put them in positions to continue to do great work without you? That right there is the most difficult thing that I think any business owner will face, and that's the challenge that I continue to face. As a manager, I have to do better. As a leader, I have to do better. As a company culture, we have to do better. And it doesn't stop. It doesn't change. You're always learning. You're always growing. As you add more employees, everyone's different. Everyone has needs. You're like, I'm tired. But we don't want to be a one-person business, right? And the ability to make greater impact means you have to have more people or utilize better technology. So people, man, that's right there. That's the hard work. That's the challenge that we're trying to figure out every single day.
After business school, I joined a company in which I was paid less than another man. I knew exactly what he was making and what I was making. Our qualifications were the same. We actually sat next to each other at graduation. And when I told my friend at the concert that this happened to me, and that was one of the reasons why feminism is important, he said, oh no, that only happens in America. That doesn't happen here. I said, my friend, it happened right here. Like, I can show you my paperwork, right? And this company was ran by men. All the leaders were men. And I wish one of them would have stood up and said something in that conversation about how this isn't fair and that we should treat all people the same.
Yeah, so this idea that women don't work together, well, I don't know them people. It's not my experience. My business partner is a woman. My mama is a woman. We have a lot of women on the team. We have men as well. But for us, we've always been focused on the mission and the vision that we're trying to achieve. I think that when there's great alignment and purpose, then you're able to find the right kind of people. And those kind of stereotypes, I think is the man trying to bring us down, but that's a conversation for another day. I think you find good people who have good energy, who want to support you, irrespective of gender, and you'll be able to do great things. My biggest career goals, guys, first of all, I want to make money. And I think it's important for women to say that, because sometimes people say, oh, you should be more humble, you should be more modest. But if a guy said he wanted to be rich, we wouldn't have any problem with it. So I want more young women to be very honest and open about their financial goals. You want to make more money so that you can travel, make more money so that you can support your family, make more money so that you can invest in your community. There's nothing wrong with working hard so that you can acquire wealth, hopefully the right way, right? That's one. Number two is I would love to build a business that creates other leaders that can go out and change Africa. When we read stories about businesses like PayPal and businesses like Facebook, the people who started those companies and maybe the first tier of employees, after they left the company, they then went and started other really great companies that grew, that scaled, that generated continual wealth. So I would love to be able to say that 25, 50, 100 people left our company and they went on to be incredibly successful based on the trainings and the learnings and the experiences that they had working at our company. And lastly, I'd love to build the #1 digital media company for young African women. So if you're not following us and you don't know about us, please go and follow us at She Leads Africa. At She Leads Africa, what's so important for us is that women feel that they have access to resources, to opportunities, to the ability to learn and improve themselves without anyone else's permission. And we really want young women to know that they can live their best lives however they define it or they choose it. So we designed the platform to make sure that wherever you are, regardless of if you live in the city or you're in a community outside, if you're a student or you're a professional, that you can access it online or via training or a program to learn more, and that you don't have to rely on other people to help you be successful, that you have the knowledge and the ability to do it yourself. I would love to see more business collaborations that trust people on ground. It's very frustrating as a creative, as an entrepreneur, as someone who has really great ideas and understands what the people want, to now be told that that's not how we do things, or no, this is the way we've always done it, or this is the model that we're going to follow. If we want to have different types of impact, if we want to do more, if we want to see different kind of results, we have to talk to different people, and we have to talk to the people who are actually on ground. So big businesses, that was a secret message, non-subliminal shade towards you. Open up your eyes, open up your ears to working with different types of people. I think it's going to be incredible. If the biggest businesses in Africa went to tech hubs, if they went to people that you see selling on the street, if they went to universities and they said, hey, what's up, what are your problems, what are your issues, I think we'd see incredible innovation and incredible results. The first, like the driving reason behind She Leads Africa was definitely passion. I still had a full-time job when we started the company. I still worked while I had the company, and then when I left the company to be an entrepreneur full-time, I didn't get paid for a very long time. And so you're not going to start a business like this where people don't really understand what you're doing, where people are going to say, oh, that's such a nice project, if you're trying to do it for money. It'll never work. I would love, of course, to be able to make money down the line, but the first and the most important thing is how can we help more young women find success in their professional lives?
I pulled together a team, I found a co-founder, and we started a pitch competition for women entrepreneurs. Within 6 weeks, we had more than 400 applications from 25 plus countries. We had women from Morocco to South Africa, Rwanda to Senegal, who raised their hands and said that they were interested in these opportunities to grow and scale their business. They weren't interested in us because we had a brand name. They weren't interested in us because we were well known back then. They were interested in us because we were being authentic and sincere, with a Google form and a website that I designed myself. Right. 4 years later, we turned the 400 applications into a community of 450,000 young women all across the continent and all across the globe who are smart and ambitious and focused. It has been incredible building this community to connect all of these young women, as well as this platform to inform, inspire, and motivate the next generation of African women business leaders.
Slave Festival was inspired by a belief that all business-related conversations do not have to be boring. I don't know who told us that in order to be a serious business person, you need to wear a suit, you need to be older, and you need to be stuffy. I don't think that's the case. Our team doesn't think that's the case. So we said, how can we bring together smart, talented young people, let them have really engaging and lively discussions about their careers, about their challenges, about their professional goals, but do it with some Beyonce in the background and eating some good food and having great cocktails. So that literally was the idea and the vision behind Slave Festival. We wanted to create a fun and exciting space and environment for networking, for learning, for sharing, and thankfully it's just grown from there. We want it to be the go-to destination for young professionals that they put on their calendar every year and they know, I need to be in Lagos, I need to be in Joburg, I need to be in Kigali for Slave Festival weekend because I'm going to be inspired, I'm going to be motivated, I'm going to make useful connections, and I'm going to see people who look like me, who understand my challenges, and I'm going to be pushed to get to that next level. The best business advice I've ever received, I can't remember who told it to me, but I know it was great, was just go and do the work. Sometimes we can be so stuck in our heads that we are like, let me write a plan. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. I don't know, I don't know together. Sometimes you just have to start and do the work. You will get better over time. Sometimes I look back on our Instagram page from like 3 years ago and I'm like, wow, that was ugly. But because we were doing that work then, we've been able to evolve and learn and grow to be doing the work that we're doing now. So go and start, and it's okay. It's gonna look ugly, but you're gonna do better. Okay, so the business advice that I would give is that just because someone says no to you once, it doesn't mean it's a no forever. In business, not in dating, okay? But in business, right? Sometimes it's about timing, it's about resources, it's just about sometimes it's just not gonna work. But business is a long-term game, and if you keep doing this and if you keep getting better, you'll come back to the same people that maybe weren't interested beforehand. No vex, no ego. You can't carry it on your chest and be like, oh, they said no, I won't ever talk to them again. No. You come back, you come correct, and you make another pitch. And so the first time someone says no, listen, learn, understand why it's not a good fit, and see how can you improve your product, improve your pitch, improve your marketing so that it becomes a yes the next time. If I had 1 minute with young African women, I would tell them, you are smart, you are incredible, you are creative, and you literally can do whatever it is that you want to do. If you are in a space where you don't feel inspired and encouraged, leave. How can you do that? You can leave from a mental perspective. Start reading different kind of books, start following different kind of Instagram pages, listen to podcasts, but make sure that you free your mind first so that you understand that you're not limited by where you're starting from. You have options, you can try more, you can literally be more. The world is waiting for you to go and create. There is not one single field that is oversaturated. There's not one single field where you cannot add value. The world needs more young African women using their voice and doing great things. And I cannot wait to see you do it.
African baby, American lady.
I would love to be remembered for being supportive of those who needed someone to give them a little kick in the butt every once in a while. I would love to be remembered for being fun and being positive and realizing that every single day is a blessing. And thirdly, I'd love to be remembered for making money, y'all, because it's not easy. And I would love to be able to show that you can do it as a young woman. You can make it happen and hopefully help other young women make it happen for themselves as well.
Secondly, you can stay away from pink. Right. I know we've all seen those razor commercials with the young woman who's spinning in the garden, her hands are up, there's a wind machine, she's very excited. But at the end of the commercial, you actually don't even know that it's really for razors or what they're selling. Whereas when they're selling men's razors, it's all about performance and power and ba-ba-ba. And you're like, yes, that razor is really going to cut my face. Right? It's the same product, right? It's blades, it's rubbers. But when we're marketing to women, for some reason, we have to have flowers and roses, and I don't know what it is that we need to have, but we're doing something there. Unfortunately, we oftentimes take the same approach when it comes to marketing our startup programs to women, right? Something must be femme, it must have girl geek, it must be pink, and instead of focusing on the attributes of the program, how it's going to help someone reach their goals, about the success stories, we choose to just take a very low-impact approach that's not really that thoughtful or authentic when it comes to marketing.
Hey everyone, this is Afua Osei, and that was just Folio Culture. I hope you learned something, you laughed. If you didn't, that's on you, but I had a great time sharing with you today.